Okay, this is another video in respect to the postal services in Slovenia, these happy Slovenian postal services. This video is enough for the police to act. And I don't want Slovenian police to act because there is nothing else to say here in respect to this. I like to get international police involved in this. This video is all you need, all the evidence you need to take steps against Slovenian police, against Slovenian government, against Slovenia inside of the European Union and against Slovenia inside of United Nations. That's all you need is one more video like this. That's all you need. Let's do it. The 12 pieces of bulbs which arrived, these bulbs were involved in MKUltra. They're different. They were involved in MKUltra, and it's exactly, you're gonna watch the video, the way they arrived is exactly as I was told they're gonna arrive. The two of them were damaged. Watch the video about the bulbs to see exactly what I mean. The watch. So we have October the 4th, the bulbs. Then you have here we have October the 12th. I ordered the watch. It costed me €1.40. This is some kind of copy of the Casio, the cheapest watch. F91W, the cheapest watch the money can buy. And they evaluated me on these watches, and this is the kind of watch I didn't even want to see during MKUltra. And I didn't want to see this watch during MKUltra because they pushed in my face this watch all the fucking time. The one who wore this watch were my neighbors, police officers, etc., etc. Therefore, people who were directly involved in Mount Everest of physical violence. What I did not like about the watch, really, what I didn't like about the watch is just simply a display. You know, if you look at a display, and I see here, it's quite clear. But in the watches that they presented me as a cheap Chinese watches, like this one here, they demonstrated me the watch, which screen was not as clear as this one, but you could see in the background also other numbers. And the specialty for that stuff was the specialty of the Robert Golob. This is the famous Slovenec, Prime Minister of the Slovenia, a genius, a mastermind that worked alongside apprentice. This is an apprentice of two people. One was Milan Kučan, and the secondary, it was Borut Pahor. Borut Pahor already got his presidential turn, and Milan Kučan was elected as the first Slovenian in independent Slovenia, the so-called Slovenia, as a president. And so now this is the genius of Robert Golob, who is a Slovenian, they say he is a Slovenian businessman. This is a businessman, ladies and gentlemen. He's a businessman. The founder of the freedom movement, who completed the university for the electrotechnician, like electrical engineering. science. He's got a doctorate. He's a doctor. This is a doctor of science in electrical engineering. This is a Slovensky prime minister, the genius. The Slovensky prime minister genius was all taken by this kind of a cheap watch because it was cheap and it had everything. He had a date, he had a day, everything. And so they wanted to make sure that I would not buy myself this kind of watch under no circumstances. Now, I did bought this kind of watch already, except that it was not the cheapest Chinese watch that you can buy on the internet. And police troubled with that watch enormously also during MK Ultra, also with that watch, because that watch that I purchased was a late purchase. I purchased that Casio watch sometimes in, just like the one you see it here, but it was a real Casio. It's a real Casio. I still have it. I bought that one in, well, I don't actually know. Maybe 2000 and, I don't know, man. 2000 and, I really don't know. 2012 or something like that, I don't know. I have it. I didn't use one at all. I yet have to check the watch to see the shape, the condition, because of the police violence, if they destroyed one or not. Practically brand new watch. Gotta see the damage they have done it. And I decided, guess what, to buy another one just like this. I purchased it for €1.40, but this is not Casio. So the screen, the way it's done, the digital screen might not be as clear. It might not be as clear, but I found one in an interesting color that the housing is really beautifully matching the colors. I like this one here. Because, why do I purchase this one? Because I figure out that I'm gonna do some, how the hell they call that stuff? Hydro oiling. What is the hydro oiling? The hydro oiling is when you sip oil inside of the watch. You can do this to increase the water resistance on the watch, because once you fill the watch with the oil, what will happen is, and I yet have to see, right, man, can that stuff be done with a digital? Let me see that stuff. Yeah, it's not hydro oil, it's hydrofoil. 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 It's hydrofoil. Called hydrofoil. Is it? Or maybe is it hydro oil? Oh, there you go. Hydro modding watches. You can see the video and you will understand exactly why. I didn't want to subject to this type of mistreatment my Casio watch, because it costs me, I don't know how much. Maybe 15 euros or something like that. I didn't want to do that kind of stuff. You need to use some kind of a fully synthetic oils, but they say that, see, mind-blowing water resistance. See that stuff here? You can even use the olive oil. I don't know if that's true or not, but that would be a cheap variation of this special oils that should be used instead to do this kind of stuff. So that means that if you build a watch with the oil, then you can go and you can swim with a watch. You can do crazy stuff. I don't know with what kind of housing this is going to come, but I imagine it's going to also have a screws, just like a Casio. In the worst case scenario, I'm going to take the engine mechanism movement out of this digital watch and I will insert one into the mechanism of the Casio. We're going to see which one fits best for that purpose. So, for a little bit monkeying around, that kind of stuff, I could actually do this. I said to myself, it's not going to kill me for Euro 40 to experiment even with that kind of stuff. We're going to see how that's going to go. Now it's a winter time here, and I'm not really in a mode for winter swimming this year. Anyhow, I mentioned you this baboon here with the doctoral degree, the doctorate, the engineer, that kind of stuff, the etc., etc. But just like the British royals, and it was Princess, her husband died. I don't actually track that stuff. His name is Thomas Kingston. Just like this guy here, he also liked that kind of watch. They had a rule during MK Ultra that you have to find yourself the watch that you like. What kind of a watch that you like? What is it that you like? And he found himself this kind of watch, the Casio watch, this kind of cheap watch. This was also the watch from Pope Francis. This was also the watch from Bin Laden, etc., etc. Very famous watch is this kind of watch, Casio watch like this, very, very famous. But you know what? I decided this was also a favorite watch of Robert Golob. Robert Golob also, the genius, the Slovenski genij, the genius of the Slovenia, also envisioned that this is such a good watch. This is such a good watch. He was all crazy about this watch during MK Ultra. Wanted to make sure that I would not have this kind of watch because this is his watch. It's his watch. During MK Ultra, the cretins, Illuminati cretins, demanded from me to choose myself a watch. There was a game of the clown from London, the royal clowns. This is a part of the human personality and so on. So this is funny one, man. When you don't have the money and they demand from you to make a choice, that's quite impressive about this cretin that you see right there, who also went on to confiscate, basically steal the watch. This one here. That's why I said that a video, one single video like this is enough to involve police in the case. One single video like this, just one video like this. Let's see the outcome of the Slovenian cretinism. And I'm going to isolate this stuff. I'm going to go and actually I even clicked the wrong. So this is the order right here. And what you do is you go and you click order details. And I'm going to pull this window out like this, so it's going to be just dedicated to this single product. Robert Golob was the one who promised me that I will not get this watch. You won't get the watch. You will get the watch. You will not get the watch. You will get it. If you order this one, you will not get it. Especially if it's going to be a blue color. Yes. Slovenski kreteni, debili v plavih uniformah, cretins in a blue uniforms, thugs, criminals, interrogated everything. Which one do you like? What color do you like? Which one do you like? What do you like? What this, what that? And yeah, I was so stupid that I made a selection, intelligent selection. Because during MK Ultra you're all the time stupid. All the time you're stupid. And the violence is so big, so they learn your preferences. And they always rate you, whether it's smart or it's not smart and so on. And they present stuff. Most often, what they presented during MK Ultra, including cars, is the stuff that was not even officially released on the market yet, because they want to prove the case of the paranoia, of the schizophrenia. It is just as simple. I'm not going to say all the AliExpress manufacturers, not all of them, but when it comes to the money and choices, stuff that I was interested in during MK Ultra and I expressed interest, I think all of them were involved in this. Every fucking manufacturer from China, with investors included, with sellers on AliExpress and on eBay included, were involved in MK Ultra. That's how many people was involved in this stuff. This seller, the seller with the lowest price that would offer, likely was involved in this stuff. This kind of product likely was involved in this stuff. So I made a choice to buy this one here for €40, and to make the story short, Robert Golub stated to me, "You will not get one, especially if you take in this color." There was one thing about the watches which Robert Golub and cretins from Novo Mesto police station will have to explain together with the psychiatrist Peter Kapsch, with his Slovenian animals. Robert Golub ordered me to not wear any kind of watches due to my father's stay at the home for elderly people. The animals from Novo Mesto police station took a special pride in harming father in such a way so that he would not even be capable to hold the fishing rod in his hands through the stroke. And when it came to the watches, he got the stroke on the right side of the head and the right side of the hand, arm. That's basically the side in which average person, at least most of the people therefore, hold a fishing pole during the fishing. They terrorized him with this issue. They horrified him. And that's what Stefanic, the funny man, Miran Sudin, Miran Sudin, is going to have to explain all about what they did to the father about these issues. Together with the Juršić, now director of the police station, Janez Ogulin, and so on. I mean, the stuff they did is unprecedented. When it comes to the watches, don't even have any watches. Psychiatrist Kapsch was laughing his ass about this stuff, explaining the father that if I'm going to bring him a watch, that he should just go and break the watch to the pieces, giving him an idea on how he's going to lay down in the bed, and that somebody gives you the watch, you go completely insane. And all because of you. Everything for me, everything because of me. That was the name of the game. That's how they killed practically father. So Robert Golub stated, especially if it's going to be this watch. Now let's see what the let's see what the Slovenian nation did in this case. Arrived at the customs, that's a good news. Let's see the whole thing exactly about what happened. There was no package that, well, seldomly few packages that were not damaged. So, that's good. October the 13th, the order is being successfully created, they say. All right, so here we go. The package finally left sorting center of origin. That's basically somewhere in China. And package arrived at the airport. And in the China, the export customs clearance started on October the 19th, 2025. And yeah, it sat over there for a while. But not really. Look at that. Awaiting flight, and they don't say nothing. Package just leaving the origin country October 19. Practically the same day they completed the custom clearance export. This is an export before it goes out of the country. It's not that I would be aware of before, but this is the way it's done. On October the 20, that's basically the next day, the import customs clearance started. Wherever the plane arrived, from October the 19th to October the 20, the import customs, that's obviously is somewhere inside of the European Union, right? Because why the fuck would you do the import customs? Why the hell would you do this? It's import. See this? And it says here, your package arrived at a local airport, October the 20. So it arrived at the local airport. I don't know exactly what this means, but I assume that whatever that was, whatever the hell it was, it must have been inside the European Union. There is no fucking way this would not be inside of the European Union. No how, no way. Package left the airport the same day on October the 20. Just the way you see it here. Package arrived at a transit country region. And it says here to me that it arrived again at the customs. What the fuck, you don't tell me? This is the second time that goes through the customs? Shit, I was not familiarized with this process of the imports to European Union. I had no idea that when the products come from the third country, from the outside of the European Union, that they have to go through the two customs. This is the first time I actually see that the product is heading to a second customs. It might be also earlier this stuff have taken place. I did not bother myself with that. But I think this doesn't make sense. Does it make sense to go through the two customs, the import? Somehow I don't understand this procedure here. It arrived on October the 21st. I have to say this is 2 weeks ago. And this is the second customs inside of the European Union. I assume that this would be the least in Slovenia. Because I don't understand how the hell this would go to the second customs. Where the hell in the world would this go through the second customs? And guess what? It's sitting over there. Since October the 21st, 2025, it continues to sit, and the delivery is estimated for the final date for the November the 11th of 2025. So it sits, and it sits, and it sits, and it sits. The animals, the Slovenian animals from the customs were implicated in this stuff. They'll probably just go and return the package back to the China, insisting me that it's for the holidays that it takes longer, because they brought these animals from Ljubljana, from Maribor, directly in our house, and they had ability to fuck around. You know, wise people, the smart people. So this is enough. I don't have anything I have to say. Anything else I have to say in respect to this stuff? I don't have to stress anything anymore about this stuff. This is enough to involve police. This is enough to visit Slovenian government. This is enough to visit Slovenian police and ask them, why do they continue to do this stuff like this? Why do they continue to destroy, steal, rob, block packages from arriving to me? The other day I got the package that demanded from me to pay them customs for the package, which supposedly already was paid in China. I have to go and see that receipt yet. I will go over and I'm going to publish also that kind of video. Every package is shit. So you want to tell me that you don't open the packages? You want to tell me that you don't block, deliberately stop the packages, steal the packages? They also steal the packages, they steal the money. I don't see how the hell that would be possible with such an overwhelming amount of proofs. Sent, damaged, broken, based on MK Ultra brainwash, sadistic basically way, sadism. With AliExpress, with what they claim AliExpress and Temu administrations, future Temu administrations, crooks, owners, involved in it, insisting me on how those items are going to be stored in China. The items, therefore, they used as a product testers here in Slovenia through the police for evaluation purposes. That's what they do in a big way. And not only in Slovenia, they also do the same stuff. AliExpress and other manufacturers also do this in Africa and so on, to test the markets, where it would sell, what it would sell, and so on. Storing these items in the China, waiting for the orders, and then ship them to me. That kind of stuff. And or search for the serial problems, serial manufacturing errors, mistakes during the manufacturing process, to present them to me as how they're going to fuck me, etc., for me to develop conspiracy theory based on that kind of brainwash. This is not normal. Everybody's got a right to the postage. Everybody's got a right to the mail. Slovenia has been doing this stuff to me already for 53 years. 53 years. There is no reason to do this to anybody, not that I would know. There's nothing legal about this. Slovenian garbage, according to the international laws, treaties, or European Union convention. There's nothing legal about this stuff. For I do not understand what Slovenia is doing inside of the European Union, inside of United Nations, or even inside of the NATO. I don't understand any of that stuff. With that being said, that's the video I am releasing you today. I am not going to make any other claims. You're going to see me posting the video about the bulbs also. Yeah, you're going to see. You're going to see that one. And with other stuff, well, this one was ordered on October the 12th. This is yet another one that should have been here, and it's still not. This one was ordered on October the 17th, 2025. With other stuff not as critical, but also not normal, if you ask me. This is a tool for the watch. In fact, I recommend you this tool because it's a kind of tool that you can use to adjust the pointers. Still did not arrive. Let me see the status here. What exactly they say here? This one here. This is even crazier. For this one, they claim it's at the regional carrier facility. I guess they want me to just do it with the hands and stuff like this, and since I paid for this, since I ordered myself this, I don't feel like doing that kind of stuff. While I do not see this going twice through the customs, through the import customs, I can see that this package here did exit China on October the 28th through the completion of the custom clearance. Took a flight, basically, I don't know, on 29 or 28, I don't know about that, and it arrived to the local airport, I assume, somewhere in Europe. on October the 30th with customs started and completed. Arrived at the customs, clearance started, cleared. That was October the 30th. Your package will soon be handed to the domestic courier company. Thank you for letting me know about that. Import customs clearance completed. I don't understand how the hell this is now. That's a little bit confusing. But at least it says here started and it says here completed. And everything on the same date, on the 30th. Started and completed. That's for inside of the European Union. In one shot, in one day. Package arrived at the transit country region, and package arrived at the regional carrier facility on October the 31st, 2025. And it appears to me, because October the 31st was a Friday, it appears to me that these people do not work no Monday, no Tuesday, no Wednesday, no shit, right? That's how it goes? Because those are the work days. Somehow this package was moving from China to Europe also during Saturdays and Sundays. But, and I really don't know, maybe they also work Saturdays and Sundays here in Europe, I don't know. It appears to me that it was not moving anywhere since Friday, October the 31st, 2025. So it appears to me that it's sitting over there already for 5 days by itself, waiting for, I have no idea what. So this will be a second package. Like I said, not as critical, but I also don't see the purpose on why exactly would I have these packages. Why exactly would I allow these packages to just sit somewhere? Maybe somebody can explain to me why exactly would that be good for me? And where is it written that this is part of the Slovenian delivery postal services duties, jobs, is they are told, commanded to do so? I don't understand what this is. But I'm going to say thank you for this. I'm going to say thank you. These are the converters for the bulbs which I ordered, because the bulbs which I ordered are not really made directly for the European Union market. The bulbs which I purchased are cheap. They don't look really like new, but since those bulbs were involved in MK Ultra, I don't know what to make out of it. They came with a warranty about, I don't know, 20,000+ hours they work. We're going to see about that. Still, this type of lamps are much cheaper than those that are made for the European Union. And I did purchase few of these converters, of which none arrived yet. But it seems to me that they will arrive here before anything else is going to arrive. As crazy as that sound might sound, this whole thing, the bottom is one package, which appears to be at the regional carrier facility already. I ordered this one on October the 22nd, both of this. Just to make sure that something would come so that I would at least have something. I ordered from two different manufacturers. Package arrived at the regional carrier facility. Let's see the process due for this one. And so, to me, clearly, somebody here is just doing the stuff based on his own taste, the way it fits them, the way they want to portray the things. And so let's portray the things. Your order has been successfully created, October the 22nd. The way that this should be normally. And let's see how many customs procedures have we gone through. Your package arrived at the airport, custom clearance complete. That was on October the 30th. That's basically the same thing like the other one. It appears that this was dispatched way faster than the other one, which is fine with me. I will not protest to that stuff. And it arrived to the customs. Obviously, that's somewhere in Europe. And it started and completed the customs on November the 1st. And the package arrived at the regional carrier facility on November the 3rd. And November the 3rd was 2 days ago. That was basically on a Monday. And I have to say it's kind of weird that there will be no fucking updates within no less than 3 working days too. All through, this is a different case. It looks like it's moving along faster. I don't understand. I don't understand this part either. You see, I'm not obligated to understand as a customer this stuff. I'm not obligated to torment myself, basically. I'm not obligated to tell myself further. I did. For 50 years, I lied to myself. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And many packages were never delivered. They demanded from me, in addition to the paid taxes and so on, demanded from me extra money once it arrived to the Slovenian postal services. Many packages never even arrived if it was promised about some kind of watch, something that I would want. And all the watches, they were labeled according to satisfaction or what it will satisfy me. They had me wear watches during MKUltra, and they interrogated all the time about how you feel about certain watch. And if the watch was good, something that would make you complete, the watch would not arrive. It is as simple as this. That's how they were doing that stuff. So it's the same thing with the other product. That's basically with the product right here that you see. Identical stuff. There is still hope for this one here. It looks like it is sitting at the regional carrier, whatever the fuck that means, and it will arrive one day. Lose no hope. Actually, oh shit, now I close this stuff down, and I really want to close it down. I'm not happy with this one here, this. This is the second one. And so we have several products for which it makes like no fucking difference. No difference whatsoever. No difference whatsoever when you offer them, whether you order this stuff on October the 22nd, or you order this stuff on October the 12th, 10 days earlier, or you order this on October the 17th, it makes no fucking difference. No difference, you understand? Actually, it does, because this one here apparently is still sitting at the customs. This one is still waiting at the customs. As for others, they were delivered to the regional carriers, whatever that means. And they sit there just as the watch is sitting at the customs, just the way you saw it. Just the way you saw it. And this is the policy that is easy policy. This is the policy that is, a regional carrier facility. This is the policy that is easy policy because I'm not taking shit no more. Before I used to wait 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and product never come. This kind of stuff. Product comes after 4 months, or on a regular basis the products were coming after 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. And they were coming like this because I was not logging down, because I was not taking a fucking note. How many products like this? I don't know, 100. It's like you don't have the right to postal services, dude. That is the case. Not like, but that was the case for 53 years. And then you gotta ask yourself, whether you fucking open every fucking package, every fucking letter, and you read and you scan. That's what they were playing with during MK Ultra. For the stuff that police did to me, the so-called Slovenska policija, the so-called Slovenian police, would make one insane already based on what they demonstrated to me during MK Ultra were doing, on how to pursue, how to view reality as. This shit is sick. Even from the point of reality, is not normal. Forget about the schizophrenia they were massaging me with since my childhood. Forget about that part. Forget about the part that they were driving me crazy and trying to portray, you know, stuff that they could easily interpret in a, you know, dispute my claims. This shit is real. This shit is real because the case is proven. And they have nowhere to run anymore. So now they're going to do ugly stuff. They do that dirty stuff open out there for the public to see. Because there's nothing anymore to hide, because it's all out. There's nothing left to dispute. They continue to do this stuff in a much lesser, much minor way. However, they're not even hiding it from the public anymore. I don't have anything else to say other than for this cretin here to have handled much of this crime, brokered much of this Slovenian crime. This was a Slovenian crime broker. He told me actually that I'm not going to go after his company, I'm not going to get his money, and I'm not going to get all of his money, some of his money, and this and that. I want to make sure that this guy rottens in the jail, primarily. That's the money to me. That's the main concern. The main concern is to put this danger behind bars and punish him accordingly with criminal law that applies to scum like this. This is my main concern, is this. He sure destroyed, he sure caused a ruin, and did absolutely everything possibly could. The Slovenian terrorists, as this is what they are regular terrorists, these Slovenes, try to make his case out of it. He wanted to make something out of it. He wanted to portray reality is completely different from reality. But it didn't work. He failed. It's a failure together with the Slovenes. They failed. You failed, losers. So, with that being said, that's all I want to say. My mother even stated me that she's not going to take any kind of watches from me that I'm going to purchase till my father is dead. Oh, I just realized, because I show her few of the watches, she's walking around with a shit watch. She's making herself look modest. And I gave her several beautiful choices to make, to pick herself a beautiful watch, tool, whatever, so that she could have. And she didn't want, but I recalled one thing. She told me during MK Ultra, after the father is dead, not before. And they articulated, they justified that with the stuff I told you already earlier, that flashing in front of him with the watches, with the fine, good-looking watches and so on, this would just not be the thing. It would just not be the thing for him. My father is interested foremost in something else. That's basically getting out alive. At least in my opinion. For the stuff this scum have done to him is completely unprecedented. I did describe about how they played with a feeding tube, which they also brainwashed me during MK Ultra. I gave you exactly the scenario even that was used to convince father to settle for the feeding tube. Even this, I even explained to you. I give you the whole ABC about how the police, what kind of stuff they did on the father to convince him to get himself a feeding tube. I gave you the whole scenario, brainwash MK Ultra scenario, on how they were using me to convince him that having a feeding tube is in his best interest. I mean, absolute animals. Absolute animals. There's like absolutely nothing humane about these animals. The stuff that you see in the Russia is taking place. It's not only in the Russia. We have these animals in Britain. We have these animals in the United States of America. We have these animals absolutely all over the place. Absolutely all over the place. This is not how you turn your attention to somebody like myself. This is not how you address somebody like myself. This is wrong, and I will punish for this wrong with absolutely everything I have. The money in this case does not even matter. You have been watching Auster Times. My name is Ausis Bushtian. This is my blog. The blog that you have seen right there is my blog. I am a real person. For the scum even hoped for, there will be artificial intelligence that would justify my existence long after disappearance. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, on opportunity, also take a date and time. I'm going to take this one here. I'm going to put this on the internet, so that's not going to be some conspiracy theories that this was not recorded or on time or whatever the case might be. That's how we're going to do that. Thanks for watching this video. Till next time. He was so proud, not only about this shit, he was also about his electrical engineering science, knowledge, and so on. He involved the company from Ljubljana, one also from somewhere else, Celje also, something like that, and then something also here in Novo Mesto area, whatever. They were, I don't know, selling the bulbs. In Ljubljana, they were assembling those bulbs, whatever the fuck they were doing, claiming that this is where they're going to fix them and so on. No, they have agreement with AliExpress, with the Temu, they have agreement with these people to comply with the packages or whatever I would order. You know, they destroyed so many bulbs that you have no fucking choice other than to go buy them in China, because in Slovenia they're so disgustingly expensive. It's easy. I didn't make choice, they made the choice for me. This is a basic job of the police. The basic job of the police is to make the selections for you. And just in this case, when it comes to the forced unemployment, all that stuff, psychiatry, all that stuff, this is just bizarre that these people are still out. It's bizarre to still see them. This is a warning to United Nations commissioners, boss of United Nations European Union Commission, who Ursula von der Leyen, Antonio Guterres, both directly were involved with other apparatchiks in this genocide against me. your failure to take actions. And it goes the same to the U.S. Justice Department of State, Civil Rights Division. Your failure to comply with the law, your failure to comply with the Constitution, with the international treaties, conventions, is what keeps scum out on open and is directly proving me wrong. You're proving me wrong with this stuff. If somebody's pointing out the proofs, talking about this stuff, nothing ever happens, then what the fuck? These people must be fucking right. We have Donald Trumps and we have Barack Obamas everywhere. We don't have a statespeople. We have organized crime on every level of our society, controlled. Now convincing with a violence that wrong, criminal is correct if police does it. And this does not fit the description of the democracy. Sorry to say that. That's not a democracy. When you do the stuff like this, it does not fit the description of democracies. That's not a democracy. And it's even less description of United Nations, European Union Commission, Interpol, Europol, CIA, FBI, etc., etc. Clowns. Let me use the correct language of cretin from Ljubljana, Robert Golob, pertaining to it is when you're a cretin and a criminal. I mean, when you're a criminal and cretin. I mean, you can't beat this combination. Pertaining to this particular watch here. Malicious cretin. Mentally ill cretin. Look. No, you know what it hurts to me? You know what hurts me the most? Do you know what is the most painful to me? I do owe you. I have to explain to me what is the most difficult part to me. For the most difficult part for me is that a cretin that is mentally ill, cretin, the mentally ill cretin labels you with a mental illness. This is a cretin who labeled me with a mental illness in 2012. He hospitalized me in 2012 based on what Slovenian garbage animals claimed was a paranoid schizophrenia. And also in 2015, 2012 and 2015. Nothing hurts more when animals, total animals, label you as mentally ill. That actually hurts. That hurts. I'm not sure how you agree with me, but that hurts. It's not even about the violence they did, but about their functionality of brain. It's about their brain disorder. It's about their mental illness, sickness. It feels bad when evil like this brands you as mentally ill. To use exactly the language Slovenian Prime Minister Dr. Robert Golob insisted on inside of the room where I am at. I am inside of the living room area. This is what they would, most of the time they would discuss this. Broker this type of brainwash. Not most of the time they did inside of the kitchen, but he told me this inside the room where I'm at. Do not buy this. Do not buy this watch. It looks too poor. it looks too poor. So I told him that this is the one I like. No, it looks too poor. Then he went on to signal me and he said, if you will buy this kind of watch. So this idiot, a cretin, a total violent cretin, like the one you see inside of the Kremlin. Putin I'm talking about. It's identical stuff. Cretin explaining to you that you need to buy yourself a different kind of watch. You should buy yourself like this one here. When we're talking about the cheapest watches that money can buy, I know you understand that. And so that the color should look like this, not dark like this one here, for example. And he came to conclusion to what I stated to you based on interrogation. Everything they did, the recommendations came all based on interrogation. They interrogate you, they see your preferences and so on, then they give you they screw you up in your head, make damage as much as possible, then at the end, completely at the end, they video record themselves giving you a good advice, a piece of good advice. Like you would give a fuck about their advice, right? Just so they record themselves, so they have something they can say, no, we were not there to torture him. We were there to help him out. We entertained with him. We had a good time. We were helping him out, whatever. Don't buy like this. Buy yourself like this. Or buy yourself like this. This was his recommendation. You know, to use it just to be very totally specific in Slovenian language about what went on inside his room with him. To remind exactly whether he was here, whether this stuff went on or did not. Lie detector test, interrogation in a basement. Results, basically. That's how you do with the animals. This is an absolute animal. This is nothing humane. He is absolute animal. We're talking about absolute animals. We're talking about the replicas, copies of the Vladimir Putin, who, when it's hot, when their ass is on fire, they'll go and they'll switch the side with the permission of their boss, of their owner from Moscow. They had disagreements with the Vladimir Putin, in front of Vladimir Putin. What about if it will be like this? What about if it will be like that? You know, and the whole world will be watching us. Then it will be like this, it will be like that, then you can also do that kind of stuff. Just so that we look neutral, that we're not. It was like this during MK Ultra, with this Slovenian so-called police.